Alright, hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode we're discussing Thursday Night Football, Week 3 of the 2023 edition. New York Giants taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, by the time this video comes out, it's going to be late and this game's going to be, well, maybe off the minds of most people, but I would be remiss if I passed on the game just because I thought it was too late to put out a video. So rest assured this video will come out, but it might be a Friday night sort of thing instead of a Friday afternoon like I was originally shooting for. But I digress, the episode's getting done, and with that we're going to get right into the action. Starting with the away team in the New York Giants. So Daniel Jones completed 22 of 32 passes for 137 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. So playing behind a makeshift offensive line against the 49ers front 7, Jones had his second scoreless outing in 3 2023 starts. Jones, as always, was overly conservative, but there just wasn't much he could do against the 49ers defense with a limited number of playmakers at his disposal. Jones and play caller Brian Daboll tried to force the issue with Darren Waller, but that resulted in an ineffective night for the pass catcher and an interception for Jones. Waller let a fourth quarter target clang off his hands and into the air for the pick. So Jones has now bookended last week's effort against the Cardinals in between Week 1 getting dominated by the Cowboys and then Week 3 getting dominated by the San Francisco 49ers. Both of those teams, what do they have in common? Elite defenses. And speaking of Darren Waller, he caught 3 of 6 targets for 20 yards. So it was a night to forget for the Giants' number 1 pass catcher, who's been treated more like a traditional wideout than seam stretcher by Brian Daboll. That resulted in some unfortunate lowlights, including the fourth quarter pick. And Waller's defense, it wasn't particularly high upside decision with Daniel Jones, so Danny Dimes and Waller also failed earlier in the half to connect on a would-be first down conversion after Waller didn't properly calibrate the jump. So Waller's off to a slow start in his Giants' tenure, 12 catches for 132 scoreless yards, but at least he has 11 days to rest up for a matchup with the Seahawks. So the Giants' offense remains listless, and it appears the Giants are still also trying to figure out Darren Waller's role. Now, Daniel Jones, there was a significant amount of money invested in him, and so far the return on that investment has not been there, but I would not put it all on Daniel Jones. I look at that offensive line he was playing behind, no shot. I look at the pass catchers around him. I mean, let's be real, he spent all that money on the quarterback, but you couldn't afford to spend any money to build up that offense around the quarterback. Doesn't seem like Daniel Jones is set up for success. Last year he was able to make do with what he had, but asking him to do it again seems a bit excessive and a bit unnecessary, but nonetheless he gets paid that money, so he's got to show good, he's got to play better. But again, I do question how well can he do in this offense with the talent he has around him. San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy completed 25 of 37 passes for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. And this was another point guard performance for the 49ers second-year starter, one where he was lucky to escape without any turnovers. He also got the ball to his playmaking weapons more than enough times in space, allowing him to riv out chunk gains and tack on major yards after the catch. Purdy's main skill seems to be his quick processing, though his physical limitations do occasionally get him into trouble. He's probably overdue for a multi-turnover performance, but at this point he's doing his job in this execution-based Kyle Shanahan offense. Deebo Samuel caught 6 of 12 targets for 129 yards and a touchdown. So started off limited to 43 yards on 9 first-half targets. Samuel finally got rolling after the break, the highlight being a 27-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter where the Giants sent the blitz, leaving Samuel one-on-one with Adoree Jackson, and, well, Jackson lost that matchup. So tonight was another yak masterpiece from Samuel, with a massive chunk of his yardage coming after first contact, which did lead to a scary moment in the fourth quarter where some of the Giants landed on his midsection after a rugged run, and he remained down on the field. He would stagger to his feet and appears to have the wind knocked out of him. It was officially designated a rib injury, and so far it looks like it's not a serious injury and he just needs some rest because he's sore, but it sounds like he'll be okay. But as for the 49ers overall, I mean, complete team performance here. Looking at the offense, Brandon Ayuk was out in this game, but Deebo and George Kittle took center stage and stepped up. And Brock Purdy continues to impress, continues to be efficient. So, and really, Brock just doesn't have to do much. I mean, with Christian McCaffrey at running back and the playmakers at his disposal, Ayuk, Deebo, Kittle, And then that defense, Nick Bosa finally got on the board in the sack department in this game. Crazy to think that it's been a couple games that it took 3 weeks for him to get going, but he's got that momentum now, so expect the sacks to continue to roll on in. 49ers are poised to go on a run, that's for sure. I mean, granted, they always seem like they are. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch both got extensions, so those two aren't going anywhere. And with that, we'll go on and wrap up this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.